Hey there everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are in Las Vegas.
Viva!
Woo! We actually came here because we saw that the Backstreet Boys were playing at the Sphere and we were like, we need to go see that. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Sphere, it's basically this really cool new attraction, new-ish within like the last couple of years, I guess, and actually cost the city of Las Vegas, I think upwards of $1 billion to construct and bring to the city. So it's kind of interesting, but it's this really big sphere that has like really cool graphics, and they actually show films there when artists aren't, playing there. So we thought it'd be a good excuse to go check it out and watch the Backstreet Boys perform, us being the millennials that we are. And then also it timed out perfectly with our friends being here, so we're gonna meet up with them and just kind of bring you along, show you all the fun stuff, all the fun eats, and the fun things that we see. So we actually drove in from Phoenix this morning. It's about a 4-hour drive-ish, and it's actually a really beautiful drive. So I'm gonna insert that part of our trip here and show you the things that we did on the way in, and then, what's that?
You're gonna put it in like here or up here?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll insert that part here and then I'll catch you up with what we're currently doing.
Okay, so we left Phoenix around 8 a.m. or so, and the landscape was so beautiful the whole way there. It was really neat seeing the scenery change from things like a forest of Joshua trees to a scene of windmills, and then to this rocky terrain that kind of resembled Mars, or at least made us feel like we were on a totally different planet. And there weren't many places to stop along this route, so we made sure to bring snacks and plenty of water with us. So if you're driving to Vegas from Phoenix, you actually pass right by the Hoover Dam, so we figured this was a great excuse to stop and check it out. And we just parked at the Memorial Bridge parking lot and then made the short walk to the bridge, and it actually was a great excuse to get out and stretch our legs a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, this bridge is not for the faint of heart. You're basically walking right next to the highway on what feels like a really skinny walkway that's suspended high over the dam, but the views are totally worth it. And the construction of the dam itself is really impressive. It contains 4.5 million cubic yards of concrete, which is enough to pave a 2-lane highway from Seattle to Miami. And the dam created Lake Mead, which is the largest reservoir in the United States, and the concrete actually took a total of 5 years to cool after being built, using 582 miles of cooling pipes, which is just so crazy to even think about. You can also pay to take a tour of the dam or go to the visitor center. We just opted for a quick stop in, but it was definitely a neat thing to see, and it's also located right on the Arizona-Nevada border if you want to take your picture at the state line. But after that little stop, we just continued on to Vegas, and the dam is about 45 minutes from the Strip, so totally drivable if you're flying in and you have a car and it's something that you want to see. But once we got to the Strip, we just parked at our hotel's parking garage and then made the short walk to the hotel that we were staying at, which was the Paris Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. And we did arrive a little bit early, so we were able to pay a $25 fee to check in early, but they do hold your luggage for you if you just want to walk around and not pay the fee. But there was a long line for the front desk, so we just opted for the self check-in, which was really nice because it was super fast and easy.
Okay, so here is our little room at the Paris Las Vegas. We always just do the cheapest room, which in this case was 2 queens, and then we didn't pay for a view or anything, so we just have a little view of this back lot here. And we're on the 15th floor, and I usually do not like being on a high floor. I don't know why, it just freaks me out. So I was a little freaked out when I saw that we were on the 15th floor, but clearly we are pretty low compared to what's up there. But then we just have a nice little snack bar here, some mirrors for the fit checks. Also, this is my go-to travel outfit. These are the viral athletic barrel pants from Old Navy. You guys, these are so comfortable. They're like moisture wicking, and you can just still feel put together but still be comfortable. This tank is also from Amazon. I'll link both below. And then this necklace is just from an antique shop. I showed you guys that in one of my antiquing videos. So yeah, super comfortable, my go-to travel outfit. Also, here we got the bathroom, which this is pretty nice, got some good counter space, got a decent shower over here, our toilet. So yeah, pretty nice, especially for being reasonably priced. And the Paris hotel is pretty centrally located to the whole entire Strip, which is why we picked this spot. So yeah, now we're gonna just unpack a little bit and then see what adventure we can find.
So after getting settled, we met up with our friends at their Airbnb and played some games and hung by the pool. I have no footage from that other than this photo of the pool that I took because I liked the cactus landscaping. But after hanging for a bit, we headed over to Fremont Street, which is separate from the Strip, but there's still a ton going on here. And the city actually spent $32 million building this Viva Vision canopy, which is actually the world's largest single TV screen. And it was kind of cool to watch all of the different graphics change. And you can actually zip line underneath the canopy where you can either go in a seated position or on your stomach in a Superman position, which was kind of fun. But this place was a bit crazy for us, so we decided to head over to Gold Spike, which is a fun bar with life-size games like cornhole and chess, but they actually turned us away because of dress code since we were in athleisure, so we just walked back to Fremont Street and then decided to play some games at one of their arcades, which was fun for a little bit, but I'm not gonna lie, Fremont Street was really crazy. It kind of reminded me of Times Square a little bit, and it was just so packed. So we decided to grab some food and then head out, and we just popped into Fat Sal's, which is a really popular sandwich shop that started in LA. So Mike and I just split a burger and fries with an Oreo caramel and sea salt shake, and it was so good. And then after that, we just headed back to our hotel to get some sleep for the next day.
Okay, so it is the next day, and Fremont Street was crazy, wouldn't you say? Like, that was an experience. I don't think I'd have the desire to go back there. Like, it was cool to see because I had heard so much about it, and everyone always talks about going there, but I was a little overwhelmed. I mean, it was nuts.
It was a Saturday night.
Yeah, that too.
So it would probably be the craziest time it would be.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
It was. I mean, what do you expect? It's Vegas.
Lots of sights, lots of sounds, lots of smells.
Yep, lots of smells.
Yeah.
This morning, I'm gonna go try to grab a coffee, and then we're gonna try to find somewhere good to eat breakfast. We have a couple spots on our list, so we'll decide when we get down there and kind of see what calls to us. But yeah, we'll see you guys down there.
Okay, so I do just want to talk about the fact that most food on the Strip or on Fremont Street is very expensive. This was a $12 coffee, which I thought was absolutely insane. So for breakfast, we decided to head over to a spot where we knew we would get our money's worth, and this is Hash House A Go-Go, and here they are known for their gigantic portions, and I actually used to go to their location in Orlando when I lived there, so I was excited to revisit it. They do have a lot to choose from here, including a menu of oversized decadent drinks, but we both just ordered their pancakes with bacon and eggs, and I got the brown sugar banana pancake, which is one of my favorites, and it was literally double the size of my head, which is so crazy, especially considering that a breakfast sandwich at the hotel cost me more than this plate did. So even though it wasn't a cheap meal by any means, we felt like we at least got our money's worth and were ready and fueled up for a full day of walking around. So after breakfast, we decided to explore a little bit before the heat and the crowd set in, and we stopped to see the fountains outside of Caesar's Palace, and this was actually a great spot for a pretty photo op without a ton of people. And then we headed on over to the Bellagio, which is one of the more well-known resorts on the Strip, and here they have a beautiful atrium complete with this ceiling glass art installation called Flowers of Como by the famous artist Dale Chihuly, and this features over 2,000 glass blossoms that were all individually hand blown, and the whole thing weighs over 40,000 pounds. And then just beyond that, you can wander around the Bellagio Conservatory and Botanical Gardens, and this is completely free to do, and they actually redesign the floral arrangements and displays every season. And the current display that we saw was their summer display titled The Glam Menagerie, complete with whimsical animal figures dressed in fancy costumes that were inspired by the French Renaissance. These immersive displays were really impressive, down to the detail on the floors with the artistic floral tile mosaics and the real towering cypress trees. We could actually smell the fragrance of the flowers the second that we walked in, and it was just a really neat thing to see this unique display of gardening and artistry, and it was just really fun to walk around and take in all of the little details. also had a little shop that was attached to the conservatory featuring a bunch of Mackenzie Childs decor, which is really big right now. So that was kind of fun to walk around and see. I loved this beautiful scalloped cornflower blue set and this more neutral tan serving plate. But after exploring the Bellagio for a little bit, we walked over to the Grand Canal shops at the Venetian to meet back up with our friends. And this was one of my favorites to walk through. Actually, the Venetian is the second largest hotel in the world, so there's definitely a ton to do in this one, and we really appreciated that it was all in the air conditioning because it was 110 degrees outside on the day that we were there. But it was a super unique atmosphere just walking along all of the canals where you can watch the tourists enjoy their gondola rides and hear the sounds of the gondoliers singing echo through the space. There's also a ton of shopping and sights to see aside from just the canals. They had some delicious looking gelato at this downstairs cafe, and our friends had not eaten yet, so we decided to stop by the Earth Cafe, which is a well-known spot for organic coffee and delicious pastries. Actually, a lot of celebrities are known for going to the Melrose location, so this was kind of a fun spot to check out since they do have a location here in Vegas. I got the honey vanilla latte, and then we were still pretty full from breakfast, but we split this croissant with brie cheese and homemade jam, and it was the perfect midday snack and so good. So after walking around the Venetian for a little bit, we popped on over to the Wynn, which was right next door, and this is another well-known hotel here on the Strip with more of an upscale vibe. And here they also had some really beautiful garden displays. I will say that a lot more of the displays at the Bellagio seemed to have real florals, where this one was kind of a mix of real and faux flowers, but it was still really beautiful and a great place for a nice photo op. And they also have the bar Parasol, which overlooks this beautiful pool and fountain area, which actually has a show called The Lake of Dreams that's free to the public every night starting at dusk. We were obviously too early to see the show, but it was still a really scenic spot to just kind of sit and rest our legs for a minute and listen to the peaceful sound of the waterfall before heading back to our hotel.
Okay, so we ran back up to the room real quick just to do a little bit of a freshen up and a quick change because we do have reservations at Vanderpump a la Paris. So if you're unfamiliar, Lisa Vanderpump, she has several restaurants here in the Vegas area. And we've always wanted to try the goat cheese balls after watching Vanderpump Rules on Bravo. So we're gonna go check that one off of our bucket list. They also look like they have some nice craft cocktails. So we'll see. There's mixed reviews online, but the atmosphere just looks kind of fun and just something that we wanted to try. So we're gonna go down there, see how that is, and then get ready for the concert later tonight.
Okay, so initially we thought this might be more of a touristy spot, but actually we were really impressed. The atmosphere here was so unique. It kind of had like a dark gothic romantic vibe, which was super fun. And we went at 3 o'clock right when they opened, and we weren't expecting to see anyone from the show given that this was the Vegas location, but actually our server was Oliver, who was on season 10 of Vanderpump Rules. So that was a really fun surprise for us. I also loved this stormy Paris window behind the bar that created such a cozy atmosphere, and the food and drinks were really good. I had the Louvre at first sight, which had mezcal, prickly pear, lemon jalapeno, and of course this beautiful smoky presentation complete with rose petals. Mike had Le Margue, which was a margarita with blueberry and this super adorable olive branch garnish, and then we decided just to sample some of the appetizers because obviously we wanted to get the fried goat cheese balls, and these were the Paris version that came with a little salad with candied walnuts, honey, and an apple vinaigrette, and that paired so nicely with the fried goat cheese. We also got the French onion mac and cheese, and this was arguably the best mac and cheese that I've ever had. It was just the right balance of flavors and was probably my favorite thing out of everything we ordered. We also got the cream puff tower, and this was good, but I probably wouldn't get it again, and I would want to try the beignets instead next time. Overall, this was a great spot that really impressed us, and we would definitely recommend it. And now that we were all fueled, it's time to head back upstairs and get ready for the concert.
Okay, so this is the Backstreet Boys fit. I got the pigtails going. I got this little tube top that I found thrifting, and then these are my favorite Free People barrel jeans. This is in the milk color, and then just some white sneakers that I got at TJ Maxx. So should be comfortable, fit the dress code, and still have a little 90s touch with the pigtails. Mike, show us your fit.
It's white, as white as it could be.
Actually, we kind of match with like the off-white bottoms and then the white top. Cute.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh, also I'm wearing my glasses because I can't see anything after it gets dark. Oh yeah, we are matching with our glasses too.
Also, I forgot to mention that the Backstreet Boys told everyone on social media to wear white because that was the theme of their Millennium album, which was what they were celebrating because it was the 25th anniversary of that album coming out, which feels incorrect and just crazy that it's been that long.
Man,
This is high up.
I
I know. We've heard everyone says it's like really steep feeling, so we're a little worried. They say it like looks scary.
This is just 200s. We got 2 more of these
Oh
to go.
no, yeah, we're in 400s.
So this was what it looked like from the view in our section, which was 407. And honestly, I didn't think it was too steep feeling. It did take a little bit of getting used to, but definitely not as bad as I thought. And I also made sure to get one of the souvenir cups complete with a butterfly clip on the straw. This had mint, gin, blackberry, and ginger, I believe, and it was really good. And of course, the concert itself was phenomenal. The graphics were insane and made you feel like you were in another universe. And the Backstreet Boys played an amazing show, and I already want to go back and see it again. But even if there's not an artist playing, they do have films playing here, which I do think would be worth it to see. So afterwards, we decided to end our night by walking over to the Bellagio and catching a couple of the fountain shows. The fountains are synchronized with music, and they play every 15 minutes from 8 p.m. to midnight, and then also every 30 minutes from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. This show is always impressive, and it was the perfect way to end our trip. My closing thoughts on Vegas are that it's definitely a bustling atmosphere with a lot of crowds, so you kind of have to mentally prepare yourself for that, and also the prices, but everything is super grand, and it's a really unique atmosphere that you have to experience at least once in your life. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed coming along with us, and I will see you in my next video.